morning everyone and welcome back. I thought I'd pick up the camera today and film because I have a bunch of bookish things happening over the next couple of days, namely both of my book clubs will be meeting up. So I thought, why not film? Why not show you exactly what we get up to? I don't have like a plan or an idea for this video. We're just going to be doing bookish things together and you're going to come along with me. On today's agenda, after work this evening, I have got to go into the city to attend my book club. I'm a part of two book clubs, which I've talked about here before. One is just me and a couple of my friends, but then the other book club is hosted by a romance bookstore here in Sydney, and every single month they pick a new romance for us to read, which is kind of crazy because it's always out of my comfort zone. Like the sorts of books that they've done so far, I would never pick up on my own, and I kind of like that they're challenging me even if the books don't end up working for me. This month, indeed, the book did not work for me. We'll get into that later when I take you to book club. Even though I don't want this to turn into a reading vlog, I will tell you what I'm reading. It's The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson. So the concept is, in this kingdom there are 8 gods kind of, and there are 8 different houses that represent them, like the monkey house, the raven house, etc. Each of these houses, their top person is called a contender, and when the king abdicates, which he does in this story, those 8 contenders must engage in trials to determine who will be the next ruler. You know me, I love a good trial, but then there's an undercurrent of mystery to the story because one of the contenders is killed at the start of the story, and our main character, Nima, who is the raven contender, she has to work out who murdered this contender and why. I have heard amazing things about this on TikTok and from a lot of trusted reviewers of mine. About 28% of the way in, page 212 of like 750. And I'll be honest with you, I think the writing is great. I can see that the author's really thought a lot about the world and the characters and the sort of story she wants to tell. However, it did take me a beat to get into this book. It wasn't until about 20% in that I really got invested. It's picking up, I'm liking it, but I think I'm going to give myself until about 50% to determine whether I want to buy this book physically or not. Obviously, I have it on Kindle, and if I'm not in love with it, I'm not going to be buying it. But anyway, that's not the purpose of today. Today's purpose, I'm going to go to work, I'm going to read a little, and then we are going to make our way to book club tonight. I'm so excited. I'll tell you a little more about the book and exactly what we're doing soon. The trials have just started and I genuinely can't stop reading. I don't want to go to work right now. Okay, I'm all finished, so now it's time for me to go into the city. I'm not going to head to book club just now because I have, I think, 3 hours to kill before book club actually begins. It's a little rainy outside right now. It's grey, it's dull. You know what that means? We're going to the bookstore. They have a bunch of gorgeous like couches and stuff like that over there where you can just sit down and read a book. And I think I told you as well that I wanted to chat about the book club books. So this month, our book club had to read Priest by Sierra Simone. And it's basically about a Catholic priest who falls in love with a girl who starts coming to his confessionals. As for my thoughts on the book, I ended up giving it 2 stars. I really did not like it. I think the concept was cool, like the concept of exploring sexuality in a religious context and the sort of shame, guilt, sinfulness that's associated with it. But I just hate how this was executed. The romance was firstly insta-lust. The only attraction our main characters had together was physical, and it was a mess because of that. It was just spice, 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 and I couldn't understand what on earth they liked each other for. The male main character, he said some real questionable things, like the way he described things, the things he would say to her. Ooh! I can't repeat it because I fear I might be banned on YouTube if I repeat it, but it was just cringy beyond belief. So yeah, I didn't like the romance, and in a romance book that's the main thing that's supposed to be good, no? So I gave it a pretty bad rating, but I don't mind the premise. I think it would have been a hell of a lot better if they had fallen in love first, because then the main character, when he falls for her, he can be like, if physical intimacy is a way of expressing my love for this woman, how on earth could it be sinful? That would be a better question. Anyway, we're gonna head into the bookstore. I'm gonna continue reading The Raven Scholar, which I am now almost halfway through. Wow. And then later on, we're gonna go to book club, and I'll see if I can get a couple of clips from book club in. Go to book club. And then they just made up, and I was like, you just ruined people's lives. Good morning. I actually had such a peaceful day yesterday. I finished work early and then I went to the bookstore, had my matcha, just sat there on one of those nice big couches they have in the building and read for 2 hours straight. And then obviously I went to book club and it was amazing, and I tried to put a clip of this in there, but because the book was Priest, there were a couple of girls who literally brought sacramental wine. I love my book club very much, and once again the book they've chosen for next month is completely out of pocket and never something I'd pick up, and so I will be picking it up, giving it a shot. Let me update you on how this is going. I'm 92% into this book. I'm on page 687, very, very close to the end. In the meantime, I do need to film a TikTok unboxing these two. They are pieces of mail I got sent from the publisher. This is a box. I never get boxes. It's from Allen & Unwin and I've never worked with them, so very, very excited to see what that's all about. This one is from Penguin. I know exactly what it is because I got a heads up. The first book I got from Penguin, A Curse Carved in Bone by Danielle L. Jensen, which is the second and final book in the Saga of the Unfated, this being the first. I really liked this when I first read it, and these are romanticies inspired by Norse mythology. The second package is from Allen & Unwin. This is insane. I cannot wait. Look at that. They have a little scroll in there and a bunch of goodies. They've wrapped up the book in this beautiful scarf and the bookmark. Hello. And then they sent me some tea as well, which I'll use as I read the book. And finally the book. It says 2 maidens, 1 tournament, a whole heap of medieval trouble, and I don't think anything has sounded better in my life. I think this will be my next read. I do kind of want to decompress after the Raven Scholar, but not exactly step out of the fantasy genre, so this one's next. Anyway, I'm gonna finish my book within the next hour. Okay, I finished the book, and I know I said I wasn't going to turn this into a reading vlog, which it is not. I want to just share how I felt about it because I do know it's incredibly popular. I am going to give it 3.75. I thought it would be a 5-star read. Unfortunately, it just wasn't that for me. I got bored a little too much in certain parts of the book for me to give this 4 stars, but I can acknowledge it was a really well-written story and also a very well thought out plot line, magic system, all of that. It was so unique and beautiful. Another thing was there was a lot of switching of POVs because I won't give anything away, but we start to see a lot of other characters' POVs and their voices are so different that it's very like jerky and it feels inconsistent. Still a great read, still very close to 4, but just not fantastic enough to be a 4-star. I'm gonna update Goodreads and then I'm going to spend an hour or so just rough cutting this video that you're watching right now. If I'm filming over the course of a week, I like to do a rough cut every single day, and it just makes it easier when I'm doing the final edits at the end, so that's what we're gonna do. It's so great, it's so dull, but I'm craving a yochi, so I am on my way to go get a yochi. I also brought Ladies' Night with me, so I think I'm gonna start that book. Alright, good morning everyone. Today my second book club and I are meeting up. I'm actually so excited to see the girls from this because we haven't met up for 2 months. We skipped our April because none of our schedules were lining up. We only started this book club this year, but it's been amazing so far and we all have a shared interest, which is Dramini. We're going to a cute little cafe. I think, and I'm not too sure actually, I think the book we've read over the last 2 months was Wildside by Elsie Silver, but it's been such a long time. I feel like it's been a full year and I can't actually remember what we picked. I ended up giving this, I think, either 3.5 stars or 4 stars. I think it was 3.5. As for Ladies' Night, I'm still just at the very beginning stages, less than a quarter of the way in. I'm enjoying the concept. I like it well enough so far, but I feel like the writing is a little too young. Yes, it is a YA book, but it's a little too YA, you know what I mean? We'll see how I go though, because so long as the premise is interesting, so long as the characters are interesting and the world, then I'm happy. And I do know there are going to be dragons present in this story, although we haven't seen any hint of magic so far, but they will be coming, so I'm gonna wait for that. I love the aesthetic of this though. It feels very much like My Lady Jane. It's medieval, there's jousting, knights, like that sort of fantasy. So I will be continuing that on my way to book club today. Another thing I really want to do, and I don't know when I'm gonna do it, but the new Mission Impossible movie is in theaters today. That's not really a bookish thing, but it is a fangirl thing because my obsession for books started with mystery and spy books and also movies. I don't know when I'm gonna come home this evening, but you know, there might be a chance I just drive up, go watch it. That's the agenda today. Just book club, perhaps a movie night, but we'll see about that. I had such an amazing time at book club yesterday. It was so good seeing the girls, and I always feel like so full after going there. I have put a pause on ladies' night. I'm switching to a fanfic, of course. That is all for today's video. Thank you so much for spending the last couple of days with me, and I'll see you next week.